Do you ever feel excited about an art concept, but then when it comes to actually starting that project, you just feel a little meh about it? Well, if that's the case, then this is the video for you. In today's video, I'll be giving you some tips on how to increase that feeling of productivity and that feeling of motivation when it comes to starting an art project. I'll also be showing you the easy way things creep back in and start messing that up all over again. I've intentionally put the camera in a way that you guys can see my current art desk, at least some of it. I'll show you the rest, and how it is just killing my productivity, but I will also be giving you the reasons why and how I'm going to fix that. So I pretty much live here. That's how it feels like all the time because this is where I want to be. And because of that, some things just get put here that probably shouldn't be. I have been tempted to take this computer out of my art space forever and put it in the office. I actually have an office that I can use for paperwork, computers, and stuff, but I often use this computer to display my photo references when I'm painting or drawing. So it kind of needs to live here, kind of not, but it is just always living here. So along with that comes the keyboard, and I can detach it when I just need to use it for a photo reference, so at least I can get this out of my way of my workspace. But I also have a mouse and my mouse pad, which is an old calendar page I created. So stuff that shouldn't belong. But because I sit here all the time, if the kids bring me anything or my husband brings me anything that needs my attention, I usually just set it over here, and I'll show that to you. So I have currently a bunch of checks that I have electronically deposited that I just need to go put in the burn pile. I have a few checks that need to be deposited that are just sitting here. Also, my purse got brought in and it's just sitting here. So it doesn't need to be here. I can either put this in the office. I usually hang it over the dining room chair where I sit. I have at least 3 to 5 things here that need to go in the giveaway bin that I just haven't done. A book that I've been kind of reading off and on that really belongs on the side table of the couch, but I don't know, but somehow it got over here. I don't know. Some tapes, cassette tapes my dad just brought me the other day about Basic Artistic Color Clinic. Yeah, so I don't know if I want to listen to those or just move them on. Do I even have a cassette player anymore? I don't even know. I'm gonna have to go look. Some mail, I think one of the kids brought in, and they usually just stick it over here for me. Calendar of events, tons of, essential oils. I mean, the list, candy, snacks galore. Anyway, I'm always drinking something hot, so I actually have 2 mugs to drink out of. One that has a lid that seals closed, so if you knock it over, it doesn't leak. At least that's the idea, and it does pretty well. And plus this mug here, which I showed you in my Christmas haul that there's still tea in there, score. Anyway, I showed you this. My daughter-in-law made this for me, and it's so cute. Anyway, it sits over here on a mug warmer, so I also have a mug warmer on the way, in the way. So while I talk about all the productivity tips and things that creep back in and how, we're gonna get serious. We are gonna put the hair back in a ponytail, and we are gonna get this stuff cleaned up. Why? Well, A, it needs to be cleaned up because that's just dumb, but B, I'm leaving and I want to come back to a gorgeous workspace so that I am ready to work when I get back from my trip. So I have kind of shown this to you guys before. This is the main floor of my house and the lighting here is just terrible, but I just stuck my art studio over here on the side because this main floor is so big. There's my golden retriever. My son gave her a racing stripe down her forehead. So yeah, I just stuck my studio over here. So it's a tiny space and I like it that way. I have 2 big bedrooms in the house that I could move my stuff into, but I don't want to. I want to keep my stuff small. So you can see the mess that I currently have on the desk. Why? I am leaving for Mexico for 5 days for a watercolor retreat, and I have been filming like 5 videos simultaneously, and that has just created a backup. Not only that, the time it takes to film those has left very little time for taking care of paperwork, mail, purses, putting stuff away, and so on. Also, the biggest thing that annoys me about my art studio are these studio lights. They have a big triangle base, And there is a base on Amazon that I've been tempted to get and try that would take up less room, because the base for them is just like a square. It's probably half the size of this book, maybe 3/4 the size of this book instead. So that would be the whole base for the light, instead of spreading out into these huge triangles that I have to work around all the time. So I may spend some of my gift card to get one of those. So yeah, I have tons of snacks because I'm always hungry and eating. All of these projects that I've been working on with you guys, you've seen in the last 4 videos or so, 4 or 5 videos. In fact, this one is over here, still drying. The bottom half is drying currently. So yeah, got lots of stuff here going on, and a big pile of stuff that's accumulated from videos over the last month that I need to put away. And the carpet needs vacuumed. Again, that's like an every other day thing because we have 5 pets. All right, let's get into the reasons why all of this can mess up your productivity, how it creeps back in, and what you can do about it. The first thing that having clutter near your work area, on your work area, around your work area, any of that, is that it will cause procrastination. And when you come into your workspace and you see the mess, you're like, I don't have enough room to work, so maybe I won't work right now. Or, I better clean this up first and then do my work. And so basically you're procrastinating the important thing, your work, for dealing with a mess. And it's kind of like an escape mechanism, because maybe you're a little nervous about starting that particular art project. Does that ring a bell, anyone? Or you're afraid maybe that it won't turn out right, and so you find all these excuses to put it off, and the clutter makes such a convenient excuse. Also, if you procrastinate, you will start to feel consistently unproductive, and that's going to start making us feel incompetent in our art practice, and that is not a good thing. It also makes us more grumpy. No one wants to deal with a mess. No one wants to work in a mess. I mean, I guess there's some people that may thrive in a mess, but for the majority of us, we work better in a clean, clear, empty space. Another problem with the cluttered workspace is that you often can't find the supplies that you're actually looking for. If your desk looks like mine did in this video, at least the part on the left side of the computer, it will be really hard for me to find a supply that's buried down at the very bottom. It is so much easier to find your supplies when they're actually put away where they belong, and we're going to talk about that in a minute as well. Now, one of the hidden things of clutter that you actually can't see is the silent to-do list. I learned this from Dawn at the Minimal Mom. Check out her channel. I'll link it in the description bar below. But this silent to-do list is always staring you in the face when you have stuff around you that needs to be taken care of. So what is the silent to-do list? Well, every piece of paper on your desk needs a home, right? Or it needs dealt with. The bill needs paid, the check needs deposited in my case, those kind of things. It needs filed, and it's sitting on your desk, and your brain knows that you have to do something with that. And it is causing you stress and anxiety, even if you don't realize it. So let's take a look at the silent to-do list that I had on my desk, or have as you're watching this. I have unfinished projects. I mentioned in the video that I was filming maybe 5 videos at the same time, and pieces and parts of some were done, but pieces and parts were not done. So I had to continue to leave the stuff out, I thought, in order for me to work on it. Now, I also had supplies out for a video I hadn't quite yet filmed, and that was taking up space in the silent to-do list in my brain, because I knew that that particular item I needed to get to, so it is causing me stress because I'm not finished with what I'm doing already, and I know I see that, and I know I have to get to it and work on that eventually. Another silent to-do item for me would be those particular bills that I had to pay and the checks that I mentioned that I needed to deposit. They're sitting there on my workspace where I'm supposed to be creative and productive, and instead of having them in the office where I could deal with them on office day, and yeah, I actually have an office day. Do I do my office day consistently? No, but if I keep that kind of stuff off of my art space, then I will make it a habit to do my office day. So along with unfinished projects is also in progress items, and I kind of mentioned that. They're kind of similar categories there. We have in progress items and all the supplies that goes along with that particular project. It's one of those things. You're like, oh, I can't put this pencil away because I need it to draw for this next project coming up. Well, the pencil jar is within an arm's reach of where I sit to do my art. So I could put the pencil in the little container it belongs in and it wouldn't be a big deal. Another example of a silent to-do item would be dishes, mugs, plates, silverware, snacks that aren't put away. I like to grab something to eat, come over to my art desk because that's where my computer tends to live, 99.9% of the time. And while I'm eating, if no one's home, then I like to watch a YouTube video while I'm doing that because I feel like I can be doing two things at once. And then quite often when I'm done eating, I'm ready to get back to work, and so I just set the plate or the mug or whatever it is off to the side to bring back into the kitchen later. Yeah, I put later in air quotes there. So again, we have a silent to-do list of, I need to bring those dishes back to the kitchen. So here's the part where I can give you a little bit of help and how to deal with some of this stuff on a consistent basis. Now, there are people out there that specialize in this. I am not a specialist in organization and decluttering and all of this. However, this is just what works for me and what I need to keep doing to make that continue to be a productive workspace for me. First of all, gather your similar items, give them a container to live in. In the video where I used the Marabou art crayons, I went to my kitchen, I grabbed the glass jar, I put all the art crayons in that, and then I actually did go put them over in my third drawer of my dresser, which right now is marker stuff, I believe. So they're not really markers, but I had room. I've gone through the first two drawers and decluttered and organized those with you here on this channel, and I'll link that up in the corner there for you so you can check those out. But I still have to go through the remaining three. However, it was a good place to put them for now. I know they're there. I know where to find them when I want to play with them again. The other thing people recommend doing, and this has worked really well in my closet, but I haven't yet done it with my art room, is to label your items. For example, in the dresser that I use to store most of my art supplies, I could label my top drawer watercolor supplies, and the one right below that acrylic supplies, and the one below that markers, and the one below that drawing supplies, and below that would be like coloring books and sketchbooks. But I don't have those labeled. It's only 5 spaces, and I don't really feel like I need to label them. I know what's in them. I know exactly how to access the supplies I need when I need them, so we're good. However, I do have a bunch of bins under my desk where I sit, and I've showed those to you before. Basically right now, mostly what's stored on them are old subscription boxes that I haven't gotten to yet. But there are bins that as I move through those subscription boxes and use them, I'll be able to put in there, and those I would like to label because I just think that will make things easier. One thing I definitely want to remember to tell you guys is those things that you think you're going to use again in the next hour or the next day, put them away anyway. I see this all the time with my youngest son, is he leaves things out because he wants to get back to it. He thinks he's going to get back to it either later that day or possibly the next day after work, and he never does, at least not in any kind of timely manner. And that same thing happens with our art space. We think, I should leave these watercolors out because I'm going to use them in tomorrow's video or tomorrow's project, and then they end up taking space on your work desk while you're still working on other projects, and that adds to the silent to-do list, it adds to the clutter, and it makes us grumpy, it causes us to procrastinate, makes us feel unproductive, and it's just a spiral downhill from there. If you're not using it right then, go ahead and put it in its spot. If you have a really small art space and you don't really have a home for items, I really encourage you to work really hard on finding a home for all your supplies, even in really small spaces. But you need to be comfortable in your space, and you need to know what is going to be your priority for what you're working on. And I think that's going to be the most important thing to help you guys. Here it is. I'm very happy with the way this feels, the way it looks, the whole works. Now this is the project I have to finish filming today. I also have to film a new video today, and that's why that's out there. So unfortunately, I have to leave a few things out on the desk, but that's okay. Once I finish this, which will take me maybe 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes max, I will put all this stuff away. You might have seen both of these videos before you see this one. I'm not sure the order this is all going to happen. But I can come back from Mexico ready to work because I'm sure I will be super motivated to do some watercolor once I get home. And I have a wonderful workspace with a nice clean rug. Well, as clean as this old rug gets anyway. That's a great vacuum cleaner, by the way. I'll link that below because I've used all kinds of vacuum cleaners, Oryx, the whole works, and nothing gets this clean like that one. It's a Shark, and it's dirty, but Lift Away Deluxe. Well, that certainly took longer than I thought. I thought it would be like a 10 or 15-minute event, and I don't even know how long it was. I'll pop that on the screen. It felt like forever. I don't like cleaning up. I like the results, I just don't like doing it. So don't let it get to this point. Well, I hope this video gave you some tips and tricks so that you can have a productive art day today. As always, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I really appreciate it. Appreciate your time. Guys, I will see you in the next video. Bye for now. One is one that has a closed lid and it will not leak if it spills. Spills, I said that weird. And plus this mug, I said that weird too. While I read you, no. These are also, dang sprinkler. Excuse me.